All right, so we're going to model, unwrap, and texture another object. This one still a relatively simple model, but we'll put a nice texture on it. Here's an example of a piece I had done in the past. This is assembled from several other objects that we'll model and texture. But it's what we're going to do first is this arch here, okay? And you can see two of them. It's the front and the back. So it's a relatively simple model to make. We'll do it in just a couple of minutes. But and the unwrapping is easy also. So we'll devote most of our attention here to texturing. And we'll use this sort of a crummy looking urban post-apocalyptic sort of an environment, because then we can put all kinds of fun graffiti and signs and stuff like that and enjoy making a rich texture that will make the relatively simple model look interesting. Okay, so starting back in 3ds Max, let's make just if you haven't changed, it's probably still the same, but you want your units to be generic units. Okay, and we'll start, make sure you do this in the same viewport I am in the front viewport. I'm going to just draw a box, okay, like that. And then go to modify, and let's put in the size as 10 by 50 by 5. And then if I do zoom extents, okay, there's my piece. There's the beginning of it. So I'll right click on it, convert to editable poly. And I'm going to get the polygon on each end. Click on this one and then control click on this one. Okay, so they're both selected. I'm going to hit G to turn off that grid. All right, and I'm going to extrude this out 10 on both sides. So I'm going to go click to the right of extrude. Okay, those polygons are still selected, right? And I'm going to hit F4 so I can see my edges. And I got 10 right off the bat, so that's good. If you don't, just type in 10 and hit the check. All right, and then click on this one and control click on this one. We're going to go down. So let's extrude again. This time we want it to be 40. Hello, 40. Okay, and then I'm going to hit the plus, and I'm going to do it the next one 10. I'm hitting enter, and then I'm going to hit the plus again, and this one will be 20. And then hit the check. Okay, so these bottom legs need to be scaled out, kind of like well, like this. So I'm going to just go to select and move and select the whole bottom piece like this, right? And go into scale and make sure you're on the you know, right on the head of the one that goes that way. Okay. You know, about so much. Just so it has a wider looking base like that. And then let's get out of the, go back to select and move. Let's get out of the sub-object selection by clicking on editable poly. Okay, so no part of this thing is selected. All right, very good. Let's unwrap it. So let's put an unwrap UVW modifier on there. Unwrap UVW. Okay, and for some reason it's got this selected, but I did not have it selected here. So make sure ignore back facing is turned off. I'm in polygon mode. Select the whole thing. Okay, so it's all selected. Let's now open UV editor. Okay, and we can change the size of this thing. I'm going to open up a little bit more. So all the polygons are selected, right? That's important. It won't work otherwise. In the future, we'll have to unwrap things manually by hand, kind of. But this, we're going to use another automatic setting. So let's go mapping up here, flatten mapping, keep all the defaults, OK, and it should give you this, all right, which is perfect. Now, This is okay. You could use it just like this, but I generally like to organize all my stuff so it's easier to see what's what, and similar things are next to each other and stuff like that. So let's down in the bottom left here of this thing, you should be in polygon mode, but if you're not, you want to make sure you are. Okay, and this thing here is element. Okay, so each one of these things is an element. If you didn't turn this on, you'd have to select around each one that you wanted. Okay, and I'm turning on angle snap up here because I didn't have it on before, but you want that on now. So we're going to kind of just organize it a little bit more. So I should be able to just click off of it first and then click, and it gets the elements. So you should be able to kind of identify these. When you click on one and you look in the 3D view, you'll see it lights up there. Okay. So the side of the leg that has the extra piece on the top is the outside, right? The inside doesn't have that piece. It will end here. So I'm going to rotate this thing. Okay, for some reason my rotate button was sticky, but I just clicked the move button first. So rotate until it's 90, and I'm going to put it up there next to its sibling. Okay, so the two are there. Here's the inside. Okay, and I guess I can scroll in on this thing. There's the front. Here's the front, and here's the back. They probably take up less space interlocking like this. Let's see what we have here. So these two are the bottoms. Okay, and those are not important. I'm going to make them real small because we're not going to put any texture on the bottom. Okay, this thing here is the inside, so I'm going to rotate that. I don't know if you guys will experience the same thing. My rotate button is acting very weird. Okay, it doesn't. If I put it right there, it's going to be a little bit too big. So make sure you go exactly 90 each time. So that's the outside and the inside. I think I'll put this above. You can always, like just export a larger size template to work off of if you have to shrink it down too much. I can put these in here, they fit. See, it has to be inside, completely inside this box. I think this is going to work just like this. And these two bottoms, I'm going to scale them down. So this is your scale here, right? And like I said, they don't matter. I'm just making them small. We have a little bit of wasted space here. That's okay. It looks good. This is upside down, but we can deal with that, right? Okay, so let's tools, render UVW template, okay? And we want it to be 2048. That will be big enough. By 2048, make these things white, okay? Render UVW template, okay? And there it is. And again, it's just like, if some of the lines don't show, they're just too small for your monitor. All right, so let's hit the little save image thing there. And let's see, where the heck am I? Glass stuff. I'm on there, 250 arches. I'm going to save it as a JPEG. And I'm going to call it arch template. Okay, make sure you give these, you know, we get in these situations where there's a lot of different files associated with one project. And if you can make the name so it can't be confused with anything else, it's really useful. If you just call it arch, then it's like, well, there's a, you know, there's this and that, all kinds of things that could be arch, right? But if there's only one arch template, it's a JPEG, save, okay, and there's all that. All right, so I'm going to close the template, and I made this thing really big, and I'm going to close the unwrap UVW window, right? And I did not save my document, so I'm going to save it. If you haven't, you should definitely do that now. And I'm going to call it arch because this is the arch. All right, so that's a good place, and we'll go in and create the texture next.